Hi guys, today we'll be talking about Sentinel Tactics, which is a game I've recently received from Kickstarter. I think it's a really fun little game. I'm not sure how how amazing my walkthrough will be in terms of the rules. I think I've got most of them down. It's more to give people a flavour of the game. It does come with some miniatures, which I've painted one of. I suppose I've painted Proletariat. I mean, I've got the intention of using them in the game, in the walkthrough, but I do think that they're all white at the moment because, well, they're white plastic, but I have undercoated them. So I think I'll probably get bored and it won't be very clear who's who. So already you're probably struggling to see that that's Baron Blade and this is Ra. But anyway, without further ado, let's have a look inside the box. Right guys, so we have the first mission from the first scenario booklet set up. Now I am using the superhero models. I have painted one, but I've sort of given up at this point. They're interesting to paint. They're very small. I don't know how well focused you'll be able to see. As you can see, that's Legacy. He's alright. I don't feel like I've done an amazing job with him, and I don't think I'm a bad painter per se, so I don't know. I've sort of, I don't know, I think I might wait till they do the fully painted ones. This one is Tachyon, but she's all white, so she'll be slightly harder to focus on. And over here, up at the top, we have Baron Blade, who's obviously the baddie for this piece. Now these have been undercoated. You can see they're sort of falling out of their bases because they haven't been glued or anything. These have been undercoated at present, but they are white plastic, and I just haven't got around to painting them. So effectively each mission, or each sort of series of missions, is presented to you in this snazzy book. So you start off with a little comic, which is quite cool. So Ra comes back. Now ironically I'm not using Ra, because I just thought it would be easier to keep it with two. So there's Tachyon and Legacy, and then they're like, let's do this. So this is the mission. We have power theft. Okay, we're playing with 3 players. So heroes are going to take turn 2 and 4. Baron Blade is going to take turns 1 and 3. We've been told to set up using the directions below, which is mirrored on here. This is kind of the way it should be set up, I suppose, if you were going for the city. The river does flow properly and stuff like that. So place Baron Blade in the hexes and so on and so forth. 8 scenario in the markers in the initial spaces. Heroes win upon incapacitating Baron Blade as many times as there are heroes. So we need to kill him twice. Baron Blade has to win by taking 6 markers. He also gets an extra power, and we'll talk about powers in just a second. Power Splice. Upon getting a first success on a scenario marker, blah blah blah. It doesn't really tell you what Power Splice does. So as far as I'm aware, Power Splice just means sort of using the event markers. So he's going to use an event marker by, I guess, being on it rather than adjacent to it. This is where more expert people will chip in on the comments below. So the first time he does it, he'll flip it. The second time, he'll take it, and if he gets 6 of these, he's won the mission. So that's the board set up. You can choose to place these guys anywhere on this tile, so I've popped them on there. Can't really see Legacy. Perhaps I should have used her. Or Tachyon. I think it might be easier. I don't have Baron Blades to hand, but that might be easier. That's what the base game comes with, these little tokens, which aren't bad in themselves. Okay, so I've also taken the liberty of setting up these players' cards. So here we have Tachyon and Legacy's cards. You've got the number of actions they can perform, their defense dice, their movement dice, and their health, and this is replaced. So as you kill them off, they will lose those. Tachyon obviously a lot less tough. They also have a couple of abilities. So you can see Legacy can fly, which is gives him this keyword mobility, which means he can basically ignore height. So you'd be much slower without that, and we hopefully will see that. He also has this fight called Thock, and we'll see a fight soon. 3 dice, and then you're rolling ones through. So the only one which will miss is a 2 because it's not coloured in. So he's got quite a powerful punch, and obviously that's going to be a melee attack. Tachyon, I'm afraid we've got a bit of glare from my overhead lights. Now this is an interesting power she has. So she has head-up display goggles. So all of Tachyon's actions are unlimited. What does that mean? So every action you do, you can only do once. Only Tachyon can do all of hers as many times as she wants. She's pretty cool, I think. An accelerated assault. Whenever you sprint, which is like a short move, then you can get a free active attack. And her attack is very similar to Legacy's Nimble Strike. Over here, sorry for the moves, we have Baron Blade, and I'm apologising for the angle, but I've set it up now, so I don't really want to flip it. It's an annoying angle. But we have the Converting Gauntlet, so he's going to get a buff every time he swaps a card out, which is actually very useful. And he has Slash and Burn, which is a very similar attack, and you can see it misses on a 2 and a 4. They're all melee attacks for the characters I've chosen. So anyway, we've set up, we've got the health markers on their spaces. I have the dice out for everybody, okay. I also have their deck of cards. Now I did get the Kickstarter version, so there is an extra card, and I will be honest, I cannot remember which one it is in each of the decks, so apologies for that. I'm sure someone will be able to link it. Okay, so we are going to start as Baron Blade. Okay, so he's going to take his first turn. The first thing we do is we roll 2 dice for his movement, because on his card it says movement 2. It's got an up arrow, which means he will move the higher. So he's going to move 5 in any given turn. For this turn. Right, so if we were to move him, now we're not going to do this because we need to choose our active power first. He is on a level 3 building, so he can move here for 1, and he could move, if I just move down a little bit, here for 1, and he could, now you can see there's only 1 space here, move all the way down for 1 for the movement, and then 2 because the space is 2 levels higher, so it costs him 3 to move there. So he's moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually a very slow move, as you can see, and that's why that mobility, ignoring height, is very, very powerful. So he has a number of cards, and this is really the crux of the game. He's allowed 2 of these cards out, and you're always allowed basically to have, well, you choose 1 initially and you'll be allowed 2 out, and you will have access to all of them. There's the odd one, which will say 1 shot, which is a special one-time use, and they tend to be very, very powerful. Now for this first mission, the teleporter is incredibly useful. So as an action, that's what this little fist means. Pick up Baron Blade's marker, set it down in an unoccupied hex, a line of sight from his original hex. Push each adjacent character 1 hex. So he can actually zip about, which is mentally good. But he, as we've just proven with his lucky roll, is going to actually manage to get to that space this turn. So he's going to take this kinetic redistributor. That's his first action, his first thing he's going to have out. And this space, this sort of thing, the fist means an action. This just means it's sort of permanent, an innate ability. Whenever you block an attack dice with Baron Blade's defense for the first time each turn, you may reassign them as an attack from Baron's Blade against each enemy in radius 2. So in a 2 radius circle around him, he's going to be able to ping a load of damage out. So we'll choose that as his ability. Okay, so we have just gone through the power-up phase, I believe. So the turn has multiple phases, and we've just gone through the first one of those, the power-up phase. Now, that's normally just picking a card, and if you had any aim or dodge tokens, then you could you'd bin them. Now we look at any surges, which is what that sort of symbol means. Oh, that's an innate ability, but it would say surge next to it, and he hasn't got any. So now it's what we call go time. So he has 3 actions per his card. Because we rolled the 5 as a move, he will be able to do 5 spaces of movement. Now, like I said, actions are limited. So if he moves once, he won't be able to move again. So he can move, but then he would also be able to sprint. So going through the basic actions, move your dice. Sprint allows you to move 2 hexes, and you ignore all of the height things that we were talking about. Aim and dodge both give you a special token. Okay, so this is the aim token, and you flip it over and it becomes a dodge token, so you can aim or dodge as another action. Now they're useful. Effectively, what aim does is when you roll a dice, so say you roll an attack, if you spend your aim token, it will take all of your successful hits and turn them to the highest roll. So if you roll a 6, all of your successful hits become a 6, and they become that much harder to dodge. Dodge takes all of your successful defense rolls and turns them into the highest rolled number. So his first action will be to move. So as we said, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His second action, I'm assuming you have to be on top of the space to splice into the power network. He's trying to turn the power, the city's power to his side, so then he can get loads of turrets out. So his second action will be to start working on that power space, and then his third action, he's worried that he's going to get attacked, will be to dodge. Okay, so his third action is going to be to dodge. So that means when he has an attack against him, he's going to hopefully not take as much damage. At that point, it's a bit hard, but you'd see, so there's his space, he's got his dodge token above him, he's got his kinetic redistributor. Turn 1 is flipped over to reflect that he's been, and he's going to get 2 turns to the hero's 1 turn a piece, because obviously he's a single guy facing off against 2 people. So it's not a cooperative game. This is actually a competitive game, and it's going to have him fighting them off. So now it's the very last thing we do, and I've forgotten. So let me just move back. Sorry. Is the reason we rolled movement is because it was the very first turn of the game. So one of the last things you do is you roll movement, and you can see his movement is now 2, 3, and he chooses the higher. He has to take the higher, I should say. So he's only moving 3 next turn, so he's going to be a lot slower next turn than perhaps he was this turn. So that's a shame for him. Right, so over to the wonderful Tachyon. So Tachyon, as it's her first turn in the game, she's going to have to determine her movement. And she rolls 3 dice, so 3 dice, and she's got a 6, a 5 and a 4. So obviously she's going to take a 6, which is cool because it looks like she might be able to make it. She doesn't have mobility, Tachyon. She can't scale walls, but there is a card which grants her mobility. And then we're going to choose one of her special abilities. So this is her powering up phase. That one's nice. You see, this is called the world stands still. So she gets +1 movement, so now she's moving 7. And she has mobility, so she's just going to move any 7. That one would give her permanent defense, which is very nice indeed. Sucker Punch is a very weak attack, but it can instantly knock someone out. So she needs to have some sort of attack, I think. So she's going to gun heavily. There really isn't a great deal of punishment for being incapacitated as the heroes. So she's going to take a light speed barrage. So this one actually isn't going to cost an action, it's going to cost health. So Tachyon's next attack this turn rolls dice equal to her move value, instead of the printed attack dice. So instead of taking 3 dice for her normal attack, because that's what her normal attack is. Okay, mobile strike down there. Nimble strike, sorry. She's going to be rolling 6 dice, which is quite nice. And remember, her abilities are totally unlimited. So whereas Baron Blade could only move once a turn, she can move multiple times. So her first action, she gets 3 actions. Not everyone gets 3. Is to move, and she can move 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's her first action. She is right next to Baron Blade, so she is going to use her second action. Ooh, she's going to aim for her second action, which will mean her attack is more powerful when she makes her attack. So she's going to spend her second action to aim, and then she's going to use her hyper speed barrage. So this is actually interesting, because this is going to cost her a health rather than an action. So she's going to get to roll 6 dice by spending that, because that's how fast her move was. So if we just zoom back in on her attack. Now if you've got a ranged attack, you need to roll the range as well. So obviously if you were to roll a 1 and you were 5 spaces away, that would be a miss. As it stands, she's got melee attack, so it's going to be a bit irrelevant for her. So she's rolling 6 dice, it's only 2s that are going to be misses. So this is what she's rolled: a 6, a 4, a 1, a 2, and a 3. Okay, so this was her second action, remember? She's had an attack. And this is, oh sorry, third action, because she spent her aim. So she spent her aim to do this. You did have to declare that this was going to be spent beforehand, so that's gone out of the game for now. My apologies for the beeping, my dishwasher's done. So, the 2 goes, because it's an automatic miss. Whenever you have anything which is a miss, it goes automatically. It should stop beeping any time now. So 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. She's done very well. So that means that she has hit Baron Blade 5 times. Now, we look at Baron Blade's defense. And as you can see over there, I'm sorry, it really should stop beeping. So his defense is 3. He can declare to spend his dodge token, which he's going to do. So, to defend against a level 6 attack, he is going to have to roll a 6 or higher. So, he rolls his dice, and unfortunately for Baron Blade, he's rolled a 5, a 5, and a 2. So, because of the dodge, the 2 becomes a 5. It always jumps up to the highest number that you have. So, he fails to block, he fails to block, he fails to block. Oh, sorry. And so that's 5 damage against Baron Blade, which is mental, because Baron Blade is toast. That is all 5 of his health down in 1 hit. So that's interesting. So Baron Blade falls down. Now it's not as punitive. Obviously we're one half of the way to winning as the goodies. I'm surprised at quite how good it is. But so he gets his card taken back. He falls over, which is him falling over on the board, and that's it. So now it's his go, and now it's as if he started. So his his turn is turn 3. So he actually will stand up now, so he recovers a little bit. Okay. So now we're gonna put all of his health back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's fully healed, which is sort of good. Now, even though Tachyon's right next to him, I think it's an error with Baron Blade to try and fight them. Okay, if he wanted to, he could get a weapon out, but that would be a bit silly. So I think he's going to now use his stupidly powerful teleporter. Okay, so it's still an action. As you can see, it's got a little fist next to it. But he's going to choose his teleporter. And just as before, because he's fallen down, he has to re-roll his move. And he's actually managed to move 6 this turn. Okay, so his first action will be to splice the power. So he's 1/6 of the way to winning this game. Now, his teleporter is super cool. So it says pick up a Baron Blade's marker, set it down in any unoccupied hex in line of sight from his adjacent space, from his space. So what we can do, and this is how powerful it is, you can see he's on a level 1 space. Okay, he has to choose another space, and if the line ever crosses a space which is higher than that, so if he chooses a level 2 space and it's higher than level 1 or level 2, he won't have line of sight. So you can see if I was trying to move from this space to this space, okay, which is a level 1 space to a level 3 space, as a level 4 space is higher than both level 1 and level 3, I wouldn't be able to do it. But conversely, if I was to move to... there isn't a very good example. If I was to say I was on a level 2 space and I wish to move to a level 3 space, if there was another level 3 in the way, then that would stop me. So if it's higher than either the space we start on or the space we end on, then we won't be able to do it. So he, I think, is worried. So what he's going to do is he is going to choose this space, and I believe he can draw line of sight to this space, which is all the way down here. Okay, because it's 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. So his first action, second action, because obviously he has multiple actions, is to literally teleport all of that way. And then his third action will be to move. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and he's going to be in a good position. So he's hiding behind this big arched building, and Tachyon's miles away now. And that is his go. So he's 1/6 of the way there, and he has he's managed to hide away. Okay, so we flip Baron Blade's turn. Now we're going to take Legacy, who's Superman basically, and he's rolled a 5 and a 3 for his movement, and it says up arrow, so he's going to be able to move 5 this turn. And remember, he can fly, so he totally ignores any actual sort of height or anything like that. Now, one of his best abilities, and this is going to hopefully help him out just now, is Flying Smash. So he can move up to 4 spaces and make an attack. So he's going to put that out for him, and that is going to be his starting position. So he's moving 5, so he can go, even though he's flying over the Freedom Tower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's his first action. And his second action will be to move 4 spaces. 1, 2. And do his Flying Smash. Now this is cool. It's an area attack, so it's going to hit everything around him at a radius of 1. So that will hit this space, this space, this space, and this space. I believe it has to be on the same level. So I think if you were here, which is a level 3 space, the area attack would seep underneath you and it wouldn't actually affect you. But I may be wrong. So if anyone wishes to clarify that, please say so in the comments. Now, Flying Smash is a 5 dice attack, but 1s and 6s are automatic misses. So we see what we've rolled. We've rolled a 4, a 4, a 5, and a 3, and a 6, but unfortunately the 6 goes away. Now, we didn't aim, nor did we say we were going to spend any aim tokens or anything, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to one-shot Baron Blade. So Baron Blade rolls a 5, a 5 and a 1. So he can set the 5 against the 3 and block that one. He can set the 5 against the 1, the 5 against the 5 and block that one. He can't use the 1 on anything. So if he'd had another dodge token, he could have done that. So those are blocked. That's a failed block. So 2 hits go through Baron Blade and his shield. So he's down to 3 health again, which is worrying for him. So we go to Legacy, and this is something I've already realised that I've been forgetting. So we're going to re-roll for his movement at the end of his turn, and he rolls a 2 and a 3, so he'll be moving 3 next turn. Okay, so because I was an idiot, I actually forgot to, so we flip all of these because we've all had one round. Because I was an idiot, I forgot to roll for Baron Blade's movement last turn, so that's bad. So obviously that would make a difference potentially to what I was planning on doing. So I get to take another one of these cards. I feel like we should perhaps do something. So let's see. We'll use the Sabre Battlesuit, which I think sounds pretty cool. So this is my ability at the start of my turn. You always get to play one down. Up to 2 can be out. So at this point now I have 2, I'll be swapping them. So he gets an extra defense dice and 2 extra attacks dice when he's meleeing. So no actions taken yet. His first action will be to splice this jobber. So that flips over. So now he is going to sprint, which remember is to move 2 spaces regardless of anything. So even though he's going from 1 to 3, that's 1, 2. So he's on a level 3 space now. And then he's going to use his teleporter. But where should he go? He actually can go all the way over to there. Okay, so he zipped all the way over, and I think this is sort of quite nice at highlighting just how fun the theme is. We'll play one more round with Tachyon, and then we will call it a night. So that's the end of Baron Blade's go. He's used his 3 actions: 1 to run, 1 to flip his token, and 1 to teleport. Now it's Tachyon's go. Oh, sorry, before Baron... I just diced on the floor. Before Baron Blade's go ends, we'll roll our dice. So 5 and a 2. So he'll be moving 5 next turn. So I forgot to do this for Tachyon last turn. So she's rolled a 5, a 5 and a 6. So as always, Tachyon is moving 6, which makes her light speed barrage really, really nice. Okay, so she is going to show one of her other amazing abilities, which is push the limits. Okay, so it costs a health, it does not take an action. Tachyon takes an extra turn after this turn. So she gets 2 turns rather than 1 turn. So, first of all, she's going to move. So, it will cost 1 to move there, 2, 3, 4 to move there, 5, 6. So that's her first move. Then she's going to sprint. She could move again, but she's going to sprint 1, 2, which will mean she gets to make a free attack because of her accelerated assault. Okay, so whenever Tachyon sprints, she may choose one of her active attacks for free. So she's going to choose Nimble Strike. So, we're only rolling 3 dice for Nimble Strike here because we haven't pepped it up with Light Speed Barrage, nor have we tried to aim. So a 1, a 3 and a 6. So it's a hit and a hit, albeit a crappy hit, and some other ones which aren't so bad. Because Baron Blade has his Sabre Battlesuit, he's now rolling 4 dice. So he rolls a 5, a 4 and a 3. And another 3. So the 4 will block the... the 5 will block the 3. The 4 will block the 1. But nothing blocks bloody Tachyon's 6. So that's his first health down. He's on 2 health. It's looking like the heroes will win. Tachyon's taken 2 actions at this point. So her third action, because she gets 3, will be to sprint again and get another free attack. Again, only 3 dice, but oh, that's not so good because 2's a misses. So she just has 1 hit of a 3 now. So Baron Blade rolls his defense, a 5, a 1, a 1 and a 2. So he laughs maniacally as he bounces off. So that's the end of Tachyon's go, but of course she can spend a health and get another go. So she gets to roll her 3 movement dice at the end of this go. She's got a 6, a 2 and a 3. She gets to choose another card, so she gets a whole extra go. So let's have a little look. Right. She's going to take the World Stand Still, that one which gave +1 move and mobility, and she's going to take away Push the Limit, the one which gave her the free turn, because she's just got a free turn, she can only use it once per turn. So now she's at move 7, and yeah, so she's going to spend another health. She's on 1 health now, so she's her own worst enemy. And she's going to do 1 more Lightspeed Barrage. So the next attack will be equal to her move value. And her move value is 7. So I use red dice for my attacks, but I've actually run out of red dice because of how powerful she is. So we roll 7 dice. 2's are misses, so we've got 1 miss. 2 6s. Poor old Baron Blade is going down basically. A 4, a 4, a 4 and a 4. So that's 6 hits. There's nothing he can do now, because even if he blocks all of them, he's still taking 2 hits, which will kill him. And he rolls terribly anyway. So that's another 6 hits. Baron Blade falls down for a second time and is defeated. We haven't gone through a lot of stuff. There are things which are called hazard space attacks. So it will be around a person. So Ra is a good example of that. I have Ra's token here. One of his abilities will be that he is a hazard space. So any baddie that enters, so if you were fighting against Legacy, the second he enters there, on his turn, he takes an attack from Ra. There are vertex attacks, which will attack 3 spaces like so, and they can go out, I believe, as well. There's area attacks, which we sort of saw as well. So the main difference, the main thing we're missing at the moment is an attack. If this was us carrying on, then there'd be another scenario based on what had happened. We will be able to do more and more. So you can see that if Heroes 1 Scenario 1, Baron Blade may only place Impulsion Turrets and Auto Turrets. If he won, then he can play Living Force Field Generators and Devitalization Field Generators, because he's got more power from the city. So that is Sentinel's Tactics. It's a very fun little game. Each character has, well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different abilities. And of course there are many, many ones. I think my personal favourite character is Proletariat, because there are about 8 Proletariat models and they all sort of split off. But that is the game in a nutshell. Apologies, it doesn't seem to want to focus. I hope you enjoyed this video.